Hmm. What are the advantages and disadvantages of a mid-engine supercar? Thank you for smashing that play button. If this is your first time stopping by, my name is Clarence. Welcome to Seek on the Speed 252. But before I get started, on this channel, we cover lots of things. We provide lots of information regarding whatever topics that's possibly available. Right now, the hottest topic is the C8 Mid-Engine Corvette. And a lot of people want to know, why did Chevrolet decide to go to a mid-engine platform? So with today's video, I wanted to provide some great information on the advantages and disadvantages of a mid-engine supercar. With this information I'm about to provide, I want to know, will it change your mind about Chevrolet going to a mid-engine platform, or do you actually think and truly believe they should stay a front-engine platform? Engine placement plays a very important role in the dynamics of a vehicle. Basically, the term mid-engine has generally used for cars having engine located or placed between the driver and the rear drive axle. We have all heard this many a times. The engine placement affects the weight distribution of a mid-engine supercar. Now let us discuss the advantages and disadvantages of a mid-engine supercar. Advantages of a mid-engine car. The important thing in vehicles is the vehicle stability. The more the vehicle is stable, the more the ride quality is increased at the time of turning, braking, and acceleration. The mid-engine layout helps to the stability of a vehicle. Basically, the vehicle is properly stable when all the load distributes to all four wheels equally, so this layout can be chosen for proper weight distribution. So as we all know, which is the engine, which is the heaviest component, is placed near the center of the vehicle, which reduces the vehicle moment of, hence makes it easier and fast to turn the vehicle in any direction, so the stability increases. So when the engine is actually placed in the middle instead of the front of the vehicle, then more weight is put over the rear tires, which increases the traction and provide more assistance to the front tires in braking the vehicle, which decrease the chances of skidding in the vehicle. So with that being said, the mid-engine layout provides more traction control and makes the ABS brakes and traction control system work even better. So vehicles stop even faster and the chance of an accident reduces, which makes the vehicle more safer. Now, honestly, understanding that it is safer to drive a mid-engine car than it is a front-engine car sounds really great to me. Let me give you an example. There has been a few times when I test drove an Acura NSX and a Porsche 911. And both times I drove those cars through curves and through corners and accelerated while doing so and felt completely safe. Now, I will say I love my C7 Corvette to death. And there's times I did the same exact thing, but didn't feel exactly the safest when I was doing that compared to the Acura's NSX and a 911 Porsche. Mid-engine placement helps with the ideal car handling. If we talk about the ideal car handling, especially in a sports car, we would call it the balance and traction between the front and the rear wheels between cornering, which helps in increasing the speed around curves without sliding. Without mid-engine placement, this balance is harder to achieve. Another thing that is important is that this layout also makes it easier for the suspension to absorb the force of bumps that the riders feel the smoother ride as the engine, which is heavy, mass placed at the mid location of the vehicle, and in a sports car, smoother ride is very essential. Now, with all that being said, there will be some advantages, but definitely some disadvantages to a mid-engine supercar. But I definitely want to make sure I got out the advantages first, and I want to make sure in this video there are some disadvantages so you can understand the difference between the two, and that way you can decide whether or not GM should go the C8 mid-engine route or they should stay for an engine Corvette. Now, I would like you to use the facts that I use in this video so you can make your decision on whether or not GM should actually go the mid-engine route or the front-engine route. Do not go the front-engine route just because the Corvette has always been a front engine, because as you all know, with the history of Corvettes, it should have always been in a mid-engine from the day one. They just couldn't figure it out back then, and they figured it out now. Now, in this segment of the video, we're going to talk about the disadvantages. Yes, of course, the disadvantages to a mid-engine supercar. Now, one of the main disadvantages of a mid-engine supercar is pretty much this passenger space. Now, I know a lot of you talk about how much space will be in the C8 car once it's revealed. Can you fit in it? People ask me all the time, do they think I'll be able to fit in it? I don't know, because I actually never sat in one of these cars. Have I sat in mid-engine cars before? Absolutely. I will tell you this. I sat in the Acura's NSX. I had no space in that car. I sat in the Porsche 911. I had plenty of space in that car. I mean, a lot of leg room. I sat in a Lamborghini Aventador. I had space in that car. I sat in a Lamborghini Huracan. I had plenty of space in that car. I sat in Mike's McLaren, and I had lots of space in that car. So I'm hoping that GM are able to figure out that with the C8 Mid-Engine Corvette, we'll have plenty of space to put our legs in comfort. I will say this, out of all the 5 cars I sat in, only one I felt uncomfortable in, and that was the Acura's NSX. This is good to know. Mostly mid-engine vehicles are capable of only carrying 2 passengers, which I'm sure you all know that. The engine, which is placed rear mid position, pushes the passenger compartment forward towards the front axle and decreases the seating capacity. Basically, when the engine is mounted behind the passenger, the engine cannot come in direct contact with facing wind, so the cooling rate of the engine decreases. This may create a noticeable issue. Once again, that is a big issue because, as you all know, with a couple of Z06s in the past that was built by Chevrolet, they had a lot of heat and cooling issues. With the engine being in the front, it was still able to suck in enough air to actually keep the car cool when on the track, but it still somehow overheated. And you know, with the mid-engine, with the engine being in the back, it doesn't get that same type of air that's coming in the front. But in the newer design cars, this issue is resolved by employing large engine compartments vents on the sides and the rear of the bodywork to help release heat from its very high output engine. Mid-engine cars are more dangerous, as the tires has more traction and superior balance whenever the drivers lose control due to superior balance. Another reason why a lot of people say a mid-engine car is a lot more dangerous than a front-engine car is because of the engine being mounted in the back. Now, in most cases, most accidents happen as cars rear end another car, which can cause an explosion, which can cause a dangerous situation where it pushes the engine up against the passenger and the driver seats back. A lot of scenarios could happen, but that's the risk, honestly, most people take when you're driving a car in general. But this honestly can apply to any car. Let's talk about it. Back in the day, there was a car called the Ford Pinto. Yes, the Ford Pinto was a dangerous car. Anytime this car was rear ended, it immediately resulted in an explosion. That's because the gas tank was actually mounted underneath, and anytime somebody hit it, it immediately exploded. Now, the same thing with cars today, the gas tank is mounted in the back, but they designed it to where if the gas tank is rear ended, it actually dips under instead of exploding, which is very safe for the cars these days. I want to interrupt this video to let y'all know how much I genuinely care about you all and you supporting my channel. I greatly appreciate it. I know a lot of you asked me, has my website been back up? My website is up. My website information, my email address will all be at the end of this video. Whatever merch you decide to buy from my YouTube channel definitely goes to helping out my YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you again for all your support. So I want to make this video because I thought it would be a great video to make with Chevrolet actually deciding to go to a mid-engine platform instead of the front-engine platform. I know a lot of you has been really saddened by the fact that GM's decided to go from that traditional style of Corvette to a new style of Corvette. I know some of you was like, I don't want this to be a new Corvette. I'd rather them give it a new name. I'd rather them take a new direction. The front-engine Corvette has always been the best Corvette ever. It's been competing with all these other supercars. Why do they need to change it now? And I wanted to give you, the audience, some visuals or some type of information about the advantages and disadvantages of a mid-engine supercar. But at the end of the day, there's pros and cons to everything in life, whether it's car, whether it's life, whether it's job, whatever the case may be. But I will give you this. I actually like the advantages of a mid-engine supercar. I'm going to be honest. I like the advantages that I listed in this video way more than I do the disadvantages regarding the mid-engine supercar. I'm super excited once again for Chevrolet to actually go this route. I can't wait till this car is revealed so that we can all see it and hopefully I get a chance to actually drive one and be able to afford one so that you all can actually see it and I can make great content with it. But right now, I like the advantages of a mid-engine supercar. I love my C7 Corvette and I love taking it to the track, but unfortunately GM feel as though they need to take another direction with the Corvette in general. So with that being said, using the information I provided in this video, give me your thoughts. Do you think GM should take this direction and go mid-engine platform, or do you think they should actually stay front-engine platform? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in another episode of Seek on the Speed 252.